They wanted to see you lose control. They craved your outrage, your anger, your frustration. But instead, you gave them something far more powerful: silence. That silence wasn't weakness, it was a masterstroke of power. It left them unsettled, exposed, and facing a truth they weren't ready for. Here's something most people never realize: the loudest move you can make isn't shouting, arguing, or proving a point. It's staying calm, composed, and quiet. Silence disarms. Silence disrupts. Silence destroys egos. And today, we're going to break down why silence isn't just golden, it's unstoppable. You'll learn how to master it, use it, and become untouchable in every situation. This is Motivation for Success, the place where we empower you to live with strength, purpose, and peace. If you're ready to reclaim control, master your emotions, and wield the quiet power that makes people question everything, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll see why silence is a weapon more powerful than words. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss the wisdom that could change your life. Let's get started. Why do people push your buttons? It's not random. People provoke you because they want control of your anger, your energy, and your attention. Your reaction feeds their ego. Every shout, every comeback, every argument gives them exactly what they want: proof that they can control you. Denzel Washington often says people who provoke others are seeking validation. They want to feel powerful, and your reaction is their evidence. When you get angry, you hand them control of your emotions. It's like giving them the keys to your mind and saying, "Here, drive." And the more you argue, the more power they take. But here's the part they don't expect: you don't have to play along. You can take back control in the most unexpected way: silence. Silence isn't passive. It's a strategy. It's power in its purest form. When you stay silent, you strip them of everything they wanted. No validation. No attention. No energy. Imagine being at a party, and someone tries to start an argument with you. They raise their voice, throw insults, and wait for you to snap back. But instead, you remain still. No reaction. No words. No energy wasted. What happens next? They look foolish. People start to see who the real problem is. The louder they get, the weaker they look. Silence exposes their insecurities, and now they have to sit with their own words. This is the power of silence. No energy lost. No arguments won or lost. Just complete control. People who master silence are the ones who stay calm while others lose control. It's not about being passive, it's about being untouchable. So, next time someone tries to push your buttons, ask yourself this: do they really deserve the keys to your peace of mind? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and tell us about a time when your silence spoke louder than words. Your story might inspire someone else to reclaim their power. Silence is not weakness. It's strength, discipline, and emotional control at its highest level. Society might tell you that staying silent means you're passive or that you've given up. But that's a lie. As Denzel Washington wisely said, sometimes you have to be willing to stand alone. And standing alone doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're unshakable. Real power isn't about explaining yourself to everyone. It's about standing firm in who you are without needing to justify or defend your actions. When someone tries to provoke you, they're betting on your reaction. They expect an emotional outburst because outbursts are predictable, easy to manipulate, and even easier to escalate. But when you stay silent, everything changes. You create confusion. Suddenly, they're not sure if they succeeded. They start to question themselves. Did I go too far? Did I say something wrong? They thought they had control, but now that you're silent, they realize they never had it. Your silence forces them to confront their own words and actions. Their confidence cracks. Their ego wavers. This is where the real power lies. True strength isn't always loud. True strength is calm, controlled, and untouchable. It's the quiet confidence of knowing you're right without needing to prove it. Think about the most powerful people you know. They don't argue with everyone. They don't feel the need to win every conversation. Why? Because they know their worth doesn't depend on what others think. They don't need to announce their power. They just are powerful. Now, ask yourself, how many times have you given away your power by reacting when you didn't need to? How often have you felt the urge to prove yourself to people who weren't even worth the effort? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might be the inspiration someone else needs to realize their power in silence. When you respond with silence, something remarkable happens. The person who once believed they had complete control over you is suddenly left with nothing but their own thoughts. No comeback to argue against. No reaction to fuel their ego. Just the cold, uncomfortable weight of their own words. And here's the thing, their ego, which was inflated by the illusion of power over you, begins to crack. The very control they were so sure they had slips right through their fingers. This is why silence is so unsettling for those who thrive on control. They expect a fight. They want you to argue, to shout, to defend yourself. They're ready for it. They need it. Because as long as you're engaging with them, they can maintain their illusion of power. But when you stay silent, they're left to face something much scarier than you, themselves. No distractions. No counterarguments to cling to. Just them, their words, and the uncomfortable truth of their behavior. Denzel Washington's perspective on this is crystal clear. He once said, "You will never be criticized by someone doing more than you, only by those doing less." Think about that for a moment. The people most eager to criticize you or provoke you aren't the ones ahead of you in life. They're the ones looking up at you, hoping to drag you down. The louder they criticize, the more fragile their ego is. They're not looking for truth. They're looking for control. This is where your silence becomes your strongest weapon. Imagine holding up a mirror to someone, but instead of seeing you, they see themselves. That's exactly what your silence does. It reflects everything they're trying to avoid about themselves, their pettiness, their insecurities, their unhealed wounds. Without your reaction to deflect attention, they're forced to confront their own behavior in raw, unfiltered form. No excuses. No distractions. Just them and the reality of who they are. And here's the truth, that reflection is far more powerful than any argument you could have made. You could have shouted. You could have explained. You could have set the record straight. But none of that would have had the same impact as the silence that forces them to face themselves. People can argue with your words, but they can't argue with their own reflection. And in that still, quiet moment, their ego faces something it's not ready for, the truth. So, here's a question for you. Can you think of a time when your silence said more than words ever could? Drop your story in the comments. Your experience might help someone else realize the power they've been sitting on this whole time. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is say absolutely nothing. If silence is so powerful, why don't more people use it? The answer is simple, because it's hard. It goes against human nature. When someone insults you, your instincts kick in. You want to defend yourself. You want to explain, argue, or prove them wrong. It feels natural, even justified. But that's exactly what they want. That's the trap. The moment you react, you hand over control. Suddenly, they're pulling the strings, and you're dancing to their tune. Choosing silence is not easy, but it is absolutely necessary. It requires a level of emotional intelligence and self-discipline that most people don't have. It's easy to react. It's easy to let your emotions take over. But it takes real strength to stay calm and quiet when someone is pushing every button they can find. As Denzel Washington says, don't be controlled by your emotions. Control them. And when you master this, you master yourself. Every insult becomes an opportunity for growth. Every moment of provocation becomes a chance to show your maturity. Imagine being in a heated situation where someone is calling you out, trying to make you lose your cool. Most people would argue back, but you pause. You stay calm. You stay silent. In that moment, who holds the power? You do. Silence makes them question themselves. It forces them to wonder why you aren't reacting. And in that moment of uncertainty, their confidence crumbles. But let's be honest, this discipline doesn't happen overnight. It's not a switch you can flip. It takes practice, patience, and self-awareness. Next time you feel the urge to clap back, pause. Just for a second. Take a breath. Ask yourself, does this person deserve my energy right now? Most of the time, the answer will be no. And here's the best part, in that pause, you regain control. That moment of intentional restraint is where your power lies. No one can take it from you. So, tell me this, when was the last time you wanted to clap back but decided to stay silent instead? How did it feel to keep your peace? Drop your story in the comments. Your experience might just help someone else take back control in their own life. Your energy is precious. Your peace of mind. Absolutely priceless. Yet, every time you react to nonsense, you give away a piece of that energy you can't get back. Think about it. If someone throws an insult and you throw one back, what did you gain? Did it change the situation? Did it elevate you in any way? The answer is simple, no. All you did was give them control over your mind, your emotions, and your peace. Silence, however, is a completely different game. Silence preserves your energy. It protects your peace. It's a declaration that says, I value myself too much to be dragged into your chaos. That's power. That's control. And as Denzel Washington so wisely puts it, don't let someone else's drama become your disaster. When you remain silent, you're not being passive, you're being strategic. Your silence says, I'm not giving you access to my emotions. And that's a level of control that most people never master. People who provoke you do it to feel important, to feel seen, to feel in control. But when you stay calm and quiet, you take away their power. Without your reaction, they have nothing. They're left with their own words, their own thoughts, and their own insecurities. Your peace is not for sale. Don't trade it for a petty argument. Don't hand it over to someone whose only goal is to see you lose control. Your peace is your power. Protect it like your most valuable possession, because it is. No one else will guard it for you. So ask yourself, how many times have you traded your peace for the chance to win an argument that didn't even matter? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your answer might just inspire someone else to protect their peace, too. Mastering silence isn't about biting your tongue. It's about knowing when to speak and when to remain still. It's about being intentional with your words and valuing your peace over your pride. Here's how you can start mastering this art. 1. Pause before you react. The moment you feel your blood boiling, pause. Ask yourself, is this battle worth my peace? 2. Control your environment. Surround yourself with people who respect your energy. Toxic people will always look for a reaction, but if you control your space, you control the tone of your life. 3. Don't let their ego win. People who thrive on drama will do everything to provoke you. Don't let them win. The real win is when you walk away without a word. 4. Practice self-awareness. Know your triggers. If you're aware of what provokes you, you can be ready for it before it happens. Practice these 4 steps daily, and you'll notice that the things that used to bother you no longer have power over you. You'll feel calmer, more in control, and more self-assured than ever before. Today's message is simple but powerful. They expected your anger, but your silence destroyed their ego. Denzel Washington reminds us that true power isn't about shouting the loudest. It's about having the strength to be still. When you master the art of silence, you master yourself. You become untouchable. You protect your peace. You preserve your energy. And you reclaim your power. If you've ever experienced this kind of power in your life, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments about a time you stayed silent when someone tried to provoke you. How did it feel to hold your peace? Your story could inspire someone else to take back their power, too. If this video inspired you, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and share it with someone who needs this message today. We're here to help you master your mind, protect your peace, and live with power. Thank you for being part of Motivation for Success. Stay strong, stay silent, and stay in control. See you next time.